Peace everyone, what's going on? This is Yane. Welcome to my channel. Before we get into the video, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment, because I really want to grow this channel and the quality of this channel. And every time someone subscribes, it's getting me that much closer to doing that. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So not much can really be said about Kanye that hasn't already been said. He's making his rounds, announcing his presidency for 2024. So I won't even get into the politics of Kanye and everything surrounding what's been going on with him regarding the anti-Semitic comments. We all know that Kanye is such an innovative mind. He is a genius mind. And sometimes he can talk and just go down a path that doesn't even make sense. And sometimes you just get lost listening to him. You really have to go back and hear what he's saying, because he's so much in his own head that he's not even thinking about whether you're paying attention or whether what he's saying makes sense or not. He's just coming out with it. So you really got to follow him. A couple of days ago, he gave a tour of his working space where he had a bunch of Balenciaga clothes. He's selling them for $20, which I think is pretty dope because people can buy those for $20 and easily sell them for $3,000. But something that he also did that I thought was really great was he showed designs or models of what he's exploring and creating for our future as humanity. Now listen, like I said, Kanye doesn't always make sense. You really have to follow what he's saying at a lot of times. You have to take the meat and you got to spit out the bones. But there was something that he shared that I thought was extremely important, and it got looked over. I don't think people paid as much attention to what he was saying at a certain point because there's other things he was saying that were also important. He talked about resources, which are, something that we need to be looking at always. What are our natural resources and how do we capitalize on utilizing those natural resources to further humanity and for us to get into a better place where we're able to thrive just as individuals, as families, but also as human beings. But he also mentioned something that I thought was really, really dope. He talked about that we are God's iPhone. And I want to play this clip of what he said. And when I come back, I'm going to give my commentary. And you really don't want to miss this. All right? I'll see you in a second.
So what I did is I just bought every piece of Balenciaga that I ever seen. And you start writing the A24 on everything.
Right.
These pieces. And all these pieces we're gonna be selling for $20 each.
Okay.
Just make sure that the people, get the best thing available.
Right. That's really cool, yeah.
Boom, there you go. This is a perspective on the next way of living. These are these fully sustainable cities. This is it's like an iPhone, right? But we're God's iPhone. We're his favorite creation. We're the ultimate technology. Sometimes we feel like technology tries to compete with us, but a human has never made anything, never designed anything better than a human. So I think we got to focus on humanity. We got to focus on other human beings. We have to be past the past. We're focused on the future now. And we have to connect with all the inventors and the designers and the engineers, all the people who have ideas of how this world could work, because we have more than enough resources for everyone in the world to be happy. There's 5 resources that the 1% use to control the 99%. That's water, food, education, shelter, and medicine. And everyone can have the best version of that. And that's our promise of what we're doing here. Welcome in right here.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
So I love that he said that. We are God's iPhone. And this is a point we overlook. I believe we have a huge dependency on the technology being the medium through which we will evolve as a species. And we are detaching further from our natural human divinity. The most impactful tool of this worldly programming that was created is media. And I'm not talking about the media from when the radio was created. I mean the media from the very first stone that had carved in it the story of history, and a way that we could preserve the history of humanity, but specifically Black culture. And I'm talking about the media that created the Black Madonna and Child, but also the media that hid these truths and created a white Jesus, created a white Madonna and Child. But when you start to overlook the origin, you're overlooking everything that comes from it. You're not giving the true nature, the true essence of who we are when you discredit where the origin came from, or when you give false truths of where the origin came from. So even when you think about eugenics and you think about all these educated elites that were using eugenics, that media used the books and the sciences. They were used to teach and to, in many ways, enslave each other, rather than teach the truth. The media that was limiting how much we had access to knowledge and understanding about how the world works, what we are as human beings, things that point us to our own power, not just our own power of being owners of land, controlling our land, knowing our rights, but points us to being owners of our consciousness. And see, this is the end of the world. This idea of us not having ownership of our consciousness, that's the end of the world. Through all of this programming, we're losing ownership of our consciousness, because now the media went from carvings on wall paintings, radio, TV, to algorithms. And algorithms have become the new species. They have evolved in the last 10 years. Yes, we are the point of origin that creates these algorithms, but the algorithms end up evolving and taking on their own, their own way of being. They've evolved exponentially to the point where they could even read thoughts. You don't have to say a word to anybody. Your own thoughts can be heard and captured right into your phone as a suggestion of what you should do, what you should buy, who you should contact. And that's the thing about trends, trending narratives, trending topics. This is not freedom. These are all byproducts of consumption. And the more we lose the ownership of our consciousness, the more we are less intentional about the world we want to see. Right? We become less intentional about the world we want to see in our lives and how we as individuals want to show up. And more, we run off the programming rather than the understanding. And this loss of ownership leaves room for algorithms to shape and create the new programming, the new trend. And we download it, we identify with it, we become whatever it is, or we follow whatever that is. And it's evolving. It's evolving to the metaverse. It's evolving for us to just almost not even exist here in this present world. It's how they want to shape it, and it's really how we follow it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not the one to say that technology shouldn't exist and we're all, I'm not a doom and gloom of technology. It's supposed to exist. It's supposed to help humanity evolve. This is part of prophecy. This is all part of the story. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to fulfill my purpose in preserving the divinity of human beings, which is why I love what Kanye was saying here, because we have to redirect ourselves to the power of our consciousness and show ourselves and others how they can become the observers that can divinely choose how they want to live, rather than blindly moving in the direction that's given to them through programming. And what I love about what Kanye says here is that it encourages people to be more critical consumers, innovative producers, because we need more uploading rather than downloading. We are God's technology. There are studies on the importance of spiritual intelligence and how important it is for us to navigate this world in the best way possible. And the more we're involved in the identity politics, the more we have group thinking, the more we have algorithms dictating our choices and creative thoughts, the more our human essence is diminished. And essentially our consciousness will be hijacked by technology, and we only get a select group of innovative thinkers who still harness our human divinity. When we get to a transhuman society, that will be the classes. You are either human or transhuman. I hear Kanye pushing us to harness that human divinity. Yes, it may be through his religious choice, but I don't care about that. Just be sure that you don't that you understand how important it is to sit with yourself, cultivate yourself, separate yourself from detoxing, or separate yourself from the programming and detox, develop, evolve within yourself so that you're no longer operating under someone else's programming, but you're operating off of your soul's programming. Your soul can now emerge and lead you into the innovative thinking that Kanye is referring to. It's your soul, it's your natural divinity that shows up in the world. It's your natural divinity that knows, I don't have to follow the trend. I don't have to fulfill someone else's expectations. I don't have to get the download because I'm uploading from here. So I don't have to live in the metaverse. There is life right here in the now, in front of me, bigger than it's ever been before. Although Kanye sometimes might sound like he's off his rocker, I think when we have innovative minds at the table who are not just mindful of the resources we're using outside of us, but that we're tapping into the resource within us, which is the power of imagination, the gift of choice, and our natural human divinity. Extremely important. So I think we need to be mindful of that. I think we need to make sure that whoever we have at the table, as we evolve in this country, the more we focus on the resources outside of us, the more the programming becomes our God. And we are a reflection of God. So the last thing we need to do is give up our consciousness and our ability to imagine and create. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you. I love your soul. I love your journey. Peace.